Keeping quiet, I don't want to interfere.
Yes.
I read what relevant evidence is. I don't know if you were listening to me. I gave you the definition of what? Maybe we should read it again. Because unfortunately this file is beset by people who know the law better than this judge. Now I want to quote what I read about irrelevant evidence. It's on section 200. You can take it. I said irrelevant evidence is inadmissible. No evidence as to any fact, matter or thing shall be admissible which is irrelevant or immaterial and which cannot conduce to prove or disprove any point of fact at issue in a criminal proceedings. If you listen to that, I'm just keeping quiet. You cross-examining warrant officer Ndlovu about what is supposed to have been said by another witness. Is that admissible?
My lord.
No, I'm asking.
It is not admissible.
Of course. Why should I waste my time and say,
yes,
Ndlovu, whatever time you can say that witness danced, the Boogaloo dance.
But may I respond, my lord?
No. It's not admissible. You know that. If
yes,
you know that,
yes,
know that I'm not going to take it into consideration when I write the judgment. Like asking this witness to comment on what Zungu said. So what?
I mean that.
But if you listen to the description I gave about irrelevant evidence, which is not conducive and is immaterial to prove anything, if you read your Criminal Procedure Act concerning evidence, you will know that.
Malak, let me briefly respond so that it's all
fine.
When the state made an application to recall this witness, on my head, I said, this is irrelevant evidence. I said so. The state is dominus litis. They've gone on this trajectory. And if I sit down, my fear is this. Later on, they'll say, I never crossed on this and I let it slide.
Yeah, not this judge.
Yes. So I may leave that because I knew that this is irrelevant evidence.
If you listen to the evidence which I read to you, Dr. and Mr. Balui, I read that, and then I also read what Torpedo and Banza says. He says the word relevant meant that any two facts to which it is applied are so related to each other that according to the common course of events, one, either taken by itself or in connection with other facts, proves or renders probable the past, present, or future existence or non-existence of either. Clearly, then, the question relating to relevance may not be resolved by resorting to juridical formulae, but rather to reason and common sense. For as Schreiner said, who I said it would have been our Chief Justice, observed relevance is based upon a blend of logic, experience, lying outside the law. So and I saw his expression, because he's an experienced warrant officer. When he was asked to comment on what Zungu said.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know, I mean, Zungu,
yes.
Because me, I'm an analyst.
Yes.
But I let it pass because I'm told I'm interfering.
And I also objected at the beginning of the evidence in chief. I said, we are only calling this respectable gentleman for this. Then he was led on what Zungu, Mohola, whoever. There were three passages that he was he was referred to
Let's go on, sir.
As the court pleases, my lord. I mean, that's it for that.
Inkulumo-ke ibimayelana nemibuzo-ke ufakazi ayihlonywayo-ke ukuthi-ke utshela ngokuthi uZungu washo lokhu, uZungu akaze asho lokhu. Ithi inkantolo-ke bikwenzile lokhu ngaphambilini ukuthi ifundeke kuwona umthetho yona le ncwadi iphethe laphayana ukuthi-ke ubufakazi lobu obungahlanganeke naye ufakazi lona-ke ngoba yena ubizelwe isizathu esithize ukuthi manje asatshelwe-ke ngobufakazi bakhe-ke uZungu akusona-ke into leyo noma-ke into inkantolo ezothi-ke inakeke nokuthi-ke ikhulume ngayo-ke nasegcineni-ke uma uphothula lona-ke icala leli uyavuma-ke nami Mr. Msipile uthi bekuyinto ayishilo naye-ke ekuqaleni leyo kodwa-ke umbuso uqhubekile wakwenza lokho. Yebo ngiyakhumbula-ke le ithombe khuluma ngazo lezi ey'ntathu-ke zokugcina ey'mbili-ke zinaye-ke umnumzane uSibiya bese kuthi-ke esokugcina ilesi esiney'bhamu ney'nhlamvu.
Now, on this one, Mr. Ntanzi instructs me as follows. And that should it be necessary for him to testify, he will come and tell this court regarding these photographs as follows.
Uthi-ke umnumzane Ntanzi uma isidingo singakhona-ke mayelana nale y'thombe lezi ey'ntathu-ke uzoza azosho lokhu okulandelayo.
That he does not know how the photos of Mr. Sibiya, that the photo 1718, came to be in his SD card, as he did not share photos with Mr. Sibiya.
Ukuthi-ke akazi ukuthi kwenze kanjani ukuthi iy'thombe lezi ey'mbili zakhe umnumzane uSibiya zibe khona-ke kwi-SD card yakhe ngoba akaze-ke badluliselane iy'thombe yena naye umnumzane uSibiya. I'm listening.
Okay. And furthermore, that he does not even want to proffer an explanation in this court as to how they ended up in his SD card, as that will be later on be held against him. So he does not know, and he doesn't want to prefer a speculative answer on this aspect.
Nokuthi-ke akafuni nokuthi-ke achazeke ukuthi kwenzeka kanjani ukuthi iy'thombe lezo zibe khona-ke kwi-SD card yakhe ngoba yinto leyo isingasetshenziswa-ke manje-ke ngakuyena. Ngakho-ke uthi-ke akazi nje ukuthi kwenzeka kanjani ukuthi zibe laphayana iy'thombe zikaSibiya. I'm listening.
And regarding photograph 19, the one with the firearms and the bullets, he says he has never downloaded photographs of this nature in his cell phone or in his SD card, and as such, he does also don't know how this ended up in his SD card.
Nokuthi futhi-ke mayelana-ke nesithombe lesi sokugcina u-19 ilesi-ke esiney'nhlamvu kanye futhi-ke nazo iy'bhamu naso-ke leso sithombe uthi akazi ukuthi kwenzeka kanjani-ke sibe kuyona-ke ifoni yakhe noma-ke i-SD card yakhe nanjengoba futhi engakaze adownloade lesiya sithombe. I heard you.
That will be my interaction with you on these photos 17, 18 and 19.
Ilokho-ke ngakusho kuwena-ke mayelana nale y'thombe lezi-ke u-17, u-18 no-19.
Now, regarding the balance of the photographs, Mr. Ntanzi does admit that the person depicted there on it's him.
Mayelana-ke nezinye iy'thombe lezi-ke uyavuma-ke uNtanzi uthi yebo umuntu loyana obonakala kuzona uyena.
And the features, as you place them on record as well, those are his features as depicted on those photos at the time they were taken.
Naloko okushilo okuchazileke uthi ubona lokho kwisithombe nalapho-ke uyavuma-ke ukuthi yebo impela-ke uyena loyo futhi naloko okushilo ukuthi-ke ikona okubonayo ey'thombeni.
Now, Warrant Officer, you've testified that you have analyzed, I'm not sure, did you also do the downloading or you only did the analysis?
Ingabe ukudownloada nakwakwenza okanye kwaba nje ucwaningo kuphela i-analysis, right?
Did you do analysis?
Wenza ucwaningo?
No, my lord.
I was listening. This old man listens. Says he never did any analysis.
I explained.
Ngichazile
into engayenza i-extraction yale CD esikhuluma ngayo la.
What I did was the extraction of the CD that we are talking about here.
And then mangikhumbula kahle izolo ngibuza ukuthi ithombe le album yaprepare bana. I said akusimangazi.
And yesterday I was asked as to who prepared the photos as well as the album, and then my response was, I don't know.
And then ukuze ngize la bengicabanga ukuthi ngizobuzwa ngeauthenticity yale CD engiyenzile.
Coming here, I was under the impression that I would be asked about the authenticity of the CD that I cut or that I made.
And then no confirm ukuthi lesithombe njengoba bayenzile analyst la is the ones basically extraction engiyenzile of which yilokho engikwenzile.
And also be asked about the photos that are here, whether are the photos which I did an extraction on, which is what I did.
So nami ngathi sengiyadideka manje ukuthi kahle kahle ngisiwaphi.
I'm also now getting confused as to where exactly am I being taken to.
So owami umbono engawusho la kunkosi yenkantolo.
My viewpoint, on my view, what I can convey to the court.
Engicabanga ukuthi sengishilo i-extraction yami ukuthi ngiyayiqinisekisa ukuthi iyo njengoba injalo.
That I do confirm that my extraction is indeed, in other words, it is the confirmation of my extraction.
Enginganankinga mangabe bafuna ukuyiconfirma whoever angeza ayiconfirm sibone ukuthi iyamatcha yonke and then into engiyishoyo.
And I also don't have a problem that whoever would like to see that or to come and confirm that as to whether indeed does it correlate or does it match, or whether it is what I am saying.
Izolo ngiphinde ngabuzwa futhi nge-chain of evidence of which ngiphinde ngayichaza futhi njengoba iphelele, so angibonanga nine-challenge kuyo.
Yesterday I also explained the chain of evidence. I also did not see any challenge in it.
Manje ngaloko bengicela inkosi yenkantolo naye ikubukisise lokho ngoba ukuthi ngiloku ngiyale nale kube i-chain ayini-challenge, i-data yami ani-challenge, and then nami kuyimi niyangidida.
I would like the court to also look at that, because if my chain or the chain of evidence, my chain of evidence is not being challenged, my data is not being challenged, so I am also now getting confused.
Warrant officer, let me tell you, if I was supposed to applaud in court, I was going to applaud you, because in fact, my whole cross is gone. This is the same objection that you are now raising to me, that concern. And I'm going to reiterate that ad nauseum. I said so when an application was made to call you. What are you being called here for? The persons that called you here, their heads now are deep in the books.
Uma bekuwukuthi ke la inkantolo ngiyakwazi ukuthi ke ngingashaya ke izandla bengizokwenza ke ngokushoyo.
I'll withdraw that. I'm withdrawing that, madam.
Hello, doctor, what was the word? I didn't hear it properly.
No, I said that their heads are in the book. They are facing down.
And your what?
Their heads are in the books. They're
in the books?
Yes.
Oh, I see.
I didn't use any swear word, man.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I've withdrawn that, my lord. I know that procedure. So, warrant officer, I was baffled, and I'm making this a statement. It's not a question to you. I was baffled when you were asked about the O-type, beard, and what other people said, and what you see about the features, because I knew your work. I know this line of work a lot. I knew your work was to do exactly what you came here to do, to put the chain of evidence on record, to speak about your extraction, logical, physical, and then go home. Then when you were asked about the O-type, that makes you here to stand as well, to go on to these pictures and ask you O-type. You are a facial identification expert. And on that note, I'm going to release you from my cross-examination, because it is not your forte about the O-type, what Mohula, what Madala, whoever said. So, my lord, I'm done with this cross-examination. That's the court, please.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are around the world. This is Zebra Family Channel, and if you subscribe to the channel, if no, what are you waiting for? Let's do it once and for all, and subscribe to grow up this channel, and don't forget to like as well. Family, today I want us to talk about Ratha Mokoatlheng. Ratha Mokoatlheng, he's a quiet guy, but when he takes the podium, to do the cross-examination. He does a very good job. But at some point, there's a little bit of kind of easily trusting, I would say, because Ramsey is got this trusting and this respect of the court. Like when you're a lawyer, you have to follow the rules of the court, but not all the time, because you will end up not doing well for your client, because it's a rough space being in court, because you are there to fight for your client. Like he said last time that he is in the line of putting his blood online just for his client to be out of this hook. But at some point, he's kind of short-tempered. When he's being challenged by Ratha, he seemed to quickly get his temper, like, and they have mastered him. Like every time once he talks, they'll just come in between and the Ratha will just destroy him like that. And his line of questioning, it will easily just disappear, because he's one person. When he starts to cross-examine, his questions are lined up accordingly. But when he gets disturbed, he easily loses it. But at some point, I feel like he's a good lawyer, but we need a little bit of a, like last time, let me just say it like this. He's a good lawyer, but he needs somebody to work with him every time he's in court. That will give him some kind of, and there's this tendency too, that every time when, like Ngumalo, every time they do this line of question to witnesses, they always keep their eye to the judge. Like every time they're looking into the judge, you see Mnisi when he's doing the cross-examination, he doesn't look at the judge. It happens at some point he will look at, because he doesn't want to be drawn to the attention and see the bad things the judge is doing, how he's doing the frowning, disrespecting the defense and all this kind of thing. He just try to be away with his eyes and concentrate to that witness who's in the box. He's trying to cross-examine that witness, then he gets the answers that he wants, not looking at the judge. And the judge will just jump, because you can't avoid the voice of the judge when he jumps in and say whatever he wants to say. It's part of the game. But sometimes when you're a lawyer, you need to be really aggressive at some point. Like today, like you know what he did to Baloyi and Dr. Sibanda. That these are the people who brought the application here now, because now we are being attacked by the judge. But in his papers, when he submitted there, Ramsey did specify that this shouldn't happen, but they decided, and the judge, he himself, made a big error by accepting this to come for them to recall a warrant in to come back into a court, and the other guy who's going to come, who's coming for the truth, the cold truth. They're just making this kind of silly mistake at the end of the day. It's not going to work. That is the thing that is happening now here. So I don't know why the judge was blaming Ramsey because he was part of the game. He is the one who granted everything, and Ramsey was so brave enough to attack Baloyi and Dr. Sibanda. Immediately attacked them. He realized that, okay, now I'm getting into hot soup. Then he just withdraw whatever he said to them. But whatever he wanted to say, it was already sent across. Withdrawing it doesn't matter, because he was trying to keep the court decorum. So it's kind of like he at some point he does do a very good job. It's just that he's short tempered at some point, but he's a very good lawyer. Because the thing that they should understand when they are there, there's a lot of people who are watching the case, and it's their market. The more they put more effort in court, we as people outside there, we have problems. We are going to be looking for lawyers and say, oh, I saw this lawyer like this there. I wish I can find her. I'll start searching how I can go about and get that kind of a lawyer. Because by being in court, whatever you do in court, you are in a market of a lot of people in South Africa, and over 60 million people in South Africa who have got problems, who need lawyers. Then that's the only place. More especially you're on TV, you know, every cross-examination that you do, you are doing it under camera. So you are in a free market whereby you can market yourself to the best. Like Mnis has marketed himself. After this and Mshololo, they've marketed themselves. And Gomez will delete. It's just that he is no more. But he did market himself. Those are the things that they have to consider when they go to court. They must forget about this judge who's always trying to jump in and just try to belittle them and make a laugh out of them and tell them that they don't know English, they don't know the law, he knows the law better than them. Those are kind of things that they have to just get out of them and just put them out there and say, no, I'm here in court. I don't want to be interrupted by anybody. I'll just keep my cool down and continue with what I'm doing. We've seen this thing that has been happening to me when he wanted to go to this marathon that was called the Comrade Marathon. Now, judge, when he stands up and cross-examines, the judge doesn't, he frown his face, he does that, but he doesn't keep his eye on the judge. That's why he's able to keep his line of questioning. He keep away from looking at the judge. He will just do his job and go home. When he needs to object, he will do it. Whenever he does what he is good in doing, he doesn't want to be distracted by the judge. So those are kind of things that Ramsey Pile, as a good lawyer as he is, those are things that he has to consider. But I would say in this, he did a very good job. But I was a little bit nervous when he said, Ntanzi said all the pictures, because there might be danger in that Ntanzi has said all the pictures, because they will include the sketch that it means he admitted even the sketch that was done next to his picture, it resembles him. So that's the mistake, because immediately he said that the judge was writing down. He need to correct this. Ramsey really needs to correct this, because it might cost Ntanzi. What do you think, family? Just drop your comment. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let us keep the fire burning until the Miwa family get closure. Bravo, bravo, bravo.